Welcome back to another episode of the Sacred Heart Coaches Show, episode 7, as we get ready for week 7 of the college football season. And joining me, as he does every week, is the head coach of the football team, Mark Notri. Coach, thanks so much for joining me again. So a really great win for you guys this past Saturday, 20-10 win over Merrimack. Was there a sigh of relief, a little breath, snapping the losing streak, getting back to your winning ways?
A little bit, I guess it was frustrating, to lose 2 in a row. And obviously, you never want to lose one and then lose 2 in a row. Things could tilt either way. We talked to our team about when you're winning, things are going well, and the ball bounces your way and it snowballs for you. When you lose, and you lose twice, things could, the train could come off the tracks, to start snowballing the other way. And they had a great week of practice last week. And the way they played and the way they competed from the get-go, from the time they came out of the tunnel to the time we went back in at the end of the game, I was really very, very happy for their emotion, how hard they played, and playing the whole 60 minutes of the game.
How much do you think of returning back home, returning to campus field, help them in their comfort level, knowing that they're back at home and they can get back to playing the way they used to?
I know they like playing at home. Obviously, when you can put 5,000-6,000 people in the stands here, and you're at home with your family, your friends, and the university support staff behind you, and everybody comes out, and it's homecoming weekend, so there's quite a few alumni back. I think that's huge for our kids. It gives them an extra boost, but they did have a great week of practice, and like I said, they played well from the get-go.
And your players racked up some accolades this past week. Malik Grant getting co-offensive player of the week, Chris Outerbridge defensive player of the week. Would you say this is one of your more complete games, both on the offensive and defensive side?
I would say we played hard on both sides of the ball, and we were picking each other up. Obviously, we had some penalties on both sides of the ball, which doesn't bode well. I think it was the most penalties we had in any game we've had yet this year. And, we ended up having 5 turnovers on offense. Defensively, we ended up getting 2 turnovers. So we were -3 on the day, which is not good. So I wouldn't say it was a perfect game, but I do like the way the kids competed. I do like the way that they pulled for each other and they had each other's back. Like I said, and they were able to play 60 minutes of a full game and understand that it's not easy to win and you have to play the game straight through.
And now your attention turns to this Saturday's matchup. It's one of the matchups that you probably have circled on your calendar. You're welcoming in Central Connecticut. The in-state rivalry returns after Central Connecticut opted out last year. Is there a little extra energy or motivation within your players knowing that your rivals are coming here this week?
Sure. Obviously, a lot of kids on our team know a lot of kids on their team. The coaches are familiar with each other. But yeah, I think there is. Every time we play them, there's usually a lot at stake. I can't remember a season where we played them that neither team had anything going for them, and we're just playing the game to play it. So they've won the conference, 2 out of the last 5 years. We've won it, 2 out of the last 4 years. So obviously, yeah, there's a lot at stake, and I'm sure our kids will be ready to go.
We'll stick with Central to start off our Ask Nof section of the show. As always, if you want to submit your questions, be sure to do it on Twitter using the hashtag AskNof. Do you do anything special in practice, knowing that you're welcoming in your rival this week?
Not really. Again, I'm not concerned about Central Connecticut. I'm concerned about Sacred Heart University's football team and the way we plan things out. And as coaches, we need to talk about the practice and what we have to do to prepare and be successful and how our game plan is going to mesh on both sides of the ball. And again, our concern is the players and making sure they're healthy, rested, and prepared to play on Saturday. So there's nothing really new that we have to do, but you are at game, week 7. So there might be some things we might change in practice to give the kids a little bit more rest. At this point in time, every team out there has bumps and bruises and injuries, and you got to fight through them, and you got to go with the mentality of the next man up. So.
And defensively, we saw some really great stretches from you guys. And one of the questions, how were you able to get a sack when you were only rushing 2 defenders going up against 5 blockers?
I think it's a matter of determination. How hard the kids played, a matter of will, flying around and playing with their emotion and edge to it. We had talked, Coach Cook and I, and looking at how much pressure we've been getting on quarterbacks, and hasn't been the same the last couple of years. This year has been the last couple of years. Coach Cook was like, be patient, we'll get there, and I trust him in some of the schemes he had drawn up and some of the people moving people around, and he did a great job. And I think we ended up with 7 sacks. So that's huge for us. I know on defense, that's what we like to do, is get after the quarterback and cause havoc. And again, if you get the sack, that's great, but what you want to do is make sure the quarterback is uncomfortable, is rushing his throw, he's jittery, and they did that. And they ended up getting 7 sacks, and there's nothing better than watching a game when you're running the ball at will and you're sacking the quarterback and they can't pass protect, and you're sitting there thinking you're feeling pretty good and you're watching the other team struggle with it, and that's something that we like to do and makes you happy as a head coach.
As always, if you want to join the conversation, be sure to submit your questions on Twitter. As Sacred Heart with a big rivalry showdown this coming Saturday as they welcome Central Connecticut State to Campus Field. Coach Nof, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.